Assuming that Winfred let them in.
No, they met me here once I had sent word of this discovery months ago. They'd found their own. Assume there's another way out where it leads to. I have no idea. I've never been there myself, but
We caved that entrance in. I mean, unless they dug it out.
yeah, this place was pretty important to them. Sound like so. I'd imagine that the cave-in wouldn't stop them for very long.
Suppose
Why?
we could go check that out.
Why was it important to them?
Oh, well, they're mining the gems. Apparently, there are not many sites you can find these gems. Apparently,
Belden takes a look around, and before we leave, did we check this place? See if they had anything worth taking, anything they've left behind, or anything on their bodies?
I believe you did. Yeah, you had found orders, I believe, in Orcish that were partially destroyed on the caster's body.
Definitely seems that way.
Yeah, I'm pretty good to go, and we're stuck down here regardless.
Till they clear the passage.
Marching order, please. Who's going to be after Hal? Bentwick?
Yeah, usually me.
And Winfred's in front of me.
Yeah, this is the main circular chamber where I'd always meet them. Where you all rescued me, I believe. Yeah, it's try to kill me. You go to open the door, Hal. I need you to make a reflex saving throw for me, please.
Ooh, dexterity, which you have advantage.
Sorry, dexterity saving throw.
You guys always.
I don't know what that other save is. I have no idea. From up above, a bunch of sharp metal shrapnel trap door above that was hidden and hastily disguised to look like rock.
That was downright unfriendly.
You take. Fenswick, you probably also have to make a dexterity saving throw as well. 9 points of piercing damage. That definitely makes it. So you take 4 points of piercing damage, Fenswick. You're going to try to bust it in? Give me an athletics check, please. You hear a crack and creaking from the other side as it almost gives in. And you can see that the doors, these double doors, actually moved when Hal shouldered it. And you hear this cracking, creaking of wood. So you can tell that the stone doors themselves are not locked. The doors just actually might be physically barred. Give it one more roll, and then it's just going to be a matter of how long you're willing to spend. This time, with a little bit of anger now at having this door bounce you back, you take a few steps back, Hal, and this time really just almost full sprint into it and lean your shoulder in. And you guys hear a shattering and splintering of wood as you see splinters and fragments of multiple wooden beams just shatter and the doors fly open. You guys enter the stone chamber. It's familiar, and there are multiple bedrolls and different various, but it's just like hides, and there's various half-eaten carcasses of some kinds of animals, rotting meat. Looks like a makeshift camp of some sorts. Give me a survival check. It's not too hard, actually. There's corners that haven't been used that are still dusty, and just the general refuse and dirt that the creatures that were using this as a shelter were not the cleanest. There's lots of footprints going in and out of the door you just came in. Give me a perception check with advantage. I mean, it doesn't smell like orc camps that you've been around. They tend to be a little more tidier. But you are familiar with this kind of arrangement. This would be a goblining. Doesn't look like there's any actual signs of an orc camp or where the orcs might be staying long term down here. It's just goblin that you can tell.
Yeah, I vaguely remember being that door to the north. Although this time, perhaps we should check to see if they've trapped it.
I can take a look. If we're just... Is it a perception for traps or investigation? Would anybody else like to help me look? Or... I can just do it by myself.
I can help you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're looking through, and you can see through the seams of this door. You notice two things. One, this door is also barred from the inside. Not quite as elaborately as the other one.
Is the inside our side or the other side?
The other side. Sorry, from the other side. Barred from the other side. And you do notice a thin wire that seems to be taut against the door itself. And you see a little bit of it going up till it goes out of view from out of sight of this. But you do notice the flicker of flame from
Okay.
the top.
Yep. So I will mention all that to the group and take a step back and say I don't know anything about disabling traps, but
Sure. It's the tripwire.
Yeah,
That's
there's a
the
trip
trap?
wire. Yeah, that you'd.
Oh, guess I'll back off 30 feet and use my mage hand and just grab the wire and yank it.
So it's through it's on the other side.
Oh, it's on the other side.
oh,
So
interesting.
you could just barely see it, Belladin. And you couldn't make out
Right.
the whole thing. You could just see that it's taut and going up, leading up.
Right. Right. So if the door opens, it would hit the cable, and then whatever flame I saw above the door would come down. Yeah. So if we open this, it'll go off.
Yeah, maybe. Seems like doesn't say that.
I would offer to just misty step to the other side, but you know what? I don't want to be over there by myself.
Sure, it's fine.
Yeah, especially with that tone in your voice. What could go wrong?
So what would you guys like to do?
The funny thing is, in the text of the spell, there's nothing that says anything about sight. It says a point you choose within range.
Yeah, give it a shot then.
I did say that the seams were enough that you could see a little bit through. So
I mean, if it can do how much weight? 10 pounds. Maybe that bar is less than 10 pounds, and you can also raise up the bar from that side.
I take it we can't see the bar from this side.
Oh, we can. That's how I was able to see it. See that it's barred. It's not as elaborate. Like I don't know if there's like a mechanism to unlock the bar, or if it's just like a simple wooden bar that you just pull up. But it's worth a try.
Yeah,
and,
I can see the bar.
Paladin, the way that you saw, it wasn't like there was a bar across. You saw the top of what looked like, a piece of lumber wedged.
Ah, okay. So I'll relay that. There's a piece of lumber wedged against the door. I will move.
Try to unwedge it.
Yeah, me too.
Give me the athletics, because this is your mage hand. I would say give me an Arcana check. 24.
Well, damn.
Easily enough. You're able to manipulate your mage hand deftly enough that you apply just the right pressure at just the right spot. You push whatever this piece of lumber was, and you hear, and Belladin, you see within a split second that flame, that flicker of flame on the seam, and you hear as the doors rumble as a loud blast is felt from the other side of the door.
Well,
and you guys see smoke, and there's a brief flash of flame from the seams of the door.
yeah. I also, if there's anyone further down that tunnel, they know we're coming now. Well done.
The doors get blasted off their hinges as they're meant to open inward, but the blast pushes them outward.
Nice. Well done, Fenthwick.
Yeah, I'm gonna say sneaking's probably off the table at this point.
Are all of these beds just charred?
Yeah, the ones, the four closest to the door are just completely blown and charred to bits, still smoking.
You think that was a bomb or alchemist fire? What would make an explosion that big? I look over at Fenthwick.
Could be a lot of things. Magic. It's just goblins. The beds here that aren't on fire, do they look like they've been recently used?
So as we approach the middle of the room, or like just come through, I am behind Winfred.
Mm-hmm.
So my staff, I just kind of like bouncing on the floor for a second off of the stone, so it makes a little bit of noise. And if Fenthwick and or Hal look over their shoulder at me, I'm gonna point to the far back of the room here and say, "I hear movement."
And after Belladin says this, after you were looking at the beds, Fenthwick, no, they seem to be just kind of frames at this point with like rotted wood and some covering, rubble and dirt over them.
Al is going to say in his best Orcish, "Get your ass out here."
Give me an intimidation check with advantage.
That's a 4 on double 2s.
Oh my god!
Nothing comes out.
How many? Do you have any luck left for the day?
No.
Oh!
I mean, that should have brought him out. I mean, I know I was yelling a lot earlier, so my voice is my throat's a little sore, a little raw, a little hoarse. So, I tried to go, get out here. It kind of came out like that.
You squeak a bit.
Yeah. Let me go look, and I'll creep forward.
As Hal's creeping forward, Belladin does Druidcraft and makes like wind. It's harmless, but just wind move under the bed to see if anything happens. Such as falling leaves, a puff of wind. So there's just a puff of wind that hits the bottom under there to see if it makes any noise or anything happens.
You just hear the slight shifting, Belladin, of movement
Okay.
after the wind.
Okay.
I'm gonna get over to the edge of the bed here and just like grab the edge and like throw it in the middle of the room.
And as you throw this bed frame and like wooden cover on it and rubble, whoa, you hear as this goblin hiding place is thrown asunder, and you just hear, ah! And he tries to scurry off.
I'll say in Orcish again, "Hey, is my Orcish not good enough? Do you not understand me? What are you doing?"
Okay, I'm going to give everyone a chance to do something right now. After Hal said this, before I resolve that. So this goblin has jumped up from its hiding place and has started to scurry away from you guys. Hal yells out after it. What is anyone else doing?
What the heck? I'll cast suggestion on him. Say you should stop and talk to us. So, wisdom save.
He's a goblin. He's really wise.
He's probably the wisest goblin. He wasn't with all those other dummies who got killed.
You know, that probably makes him pretty wise, actually.
And he was hiding.
That's a 12.
Fails.
Suddenly see this goblin stop mid-stride. And in broken Orcish, he turns towards you, Hal. What do you want?
My Orcish really bad from these guys that have been running around here just a long time ago. I haven't used it a lot, so I apologize if my plurals and everything else get kind of mixed up. My verbs before my nouns, whatever. Come over, have a seat. Let's have a conversation.
Mm-hmm. You do Orcish good.
Then why didn't you come out when I said come out? Oh, that's fine. Here, you want some jerky? It's food. You can eat it. Might be overcooked for you.
Don't want to eat, just talk.
Where are you running off to?
Safety. You kill Lurks if you find him.
Are you Lurks? Or are you lurking under the bed?
Me Lurks. You scary.
I mean, I haven't had a shower today, so I can understand I can be a bit offensive. But I have a question. The orcs, right? Guys who speak this language, they come through here recently?
Mm-hmm. Bosses come, check on progress of mining, tell us to lay traps for big ones like you.
Where do you guys meet up with them?
They come through the tunnels back home. Lurk's not here from here.
Why don't you lead us to where you're from, or at least where they come from? Just kind of, we can get rid of those guys. You guys won't have to worry about it anymore. Telling you what to do, cutting your friends' heads off, taking your women.
Bosses do that, but you kill us too.
Well, if you like throw lava and shoot us with your arrows and blow up with your fire bombs, of course. But
you people kill goblins for generations.
What do you mean, you people?
Bosses and bosses' boss promise no more.
Does he have any outstanding markings on him where I could recognize him from a different goblin?
Big chunk of his nose that's kind of missing.
Nice. Okay. How about you take us to where they meet with you and tell your friends that we're not going to do anything to them. You just point us to where the orcs come in from, and we'll take care of them. And provided you don't bother us or the village, we can all live together as a happy family.
Lurk's confused. You want to go to Lurk's home, or you want to go to the other side?
Well, wherever the orcs come from.
Okay. You have a lot of that jerky? Gonna take a while through the dark.
I look back over Fenthwick. What is a long time? And yes, I have a lot of the jerky, but what's a long time?
Few days through Underdark. It's back to the way home. Then we have to cross the ice.
You're not from around here? You're from way over there? I'm from across the ice.
You look like one of them. So kill Lurk's family.
Hey,
And he says he's pretty much says that he's from the spine. Orcish word for the they call it the spine.
is there anybody else here in this vicinity, like around here? Like, is there another place where you guys are eating and sleeping, or did you guys all go back home, or?
We don't get to go home till job done. Boss's boss need gems. So we mine. And mine. Lurk's getting tired of mining.
Look back to Fentwick. I mean, I don't think we're prepared to go through the whatever the hell he called that place, the underground.
The Underdark for days? Yeah, maybe not just yet.
Do we find out where the mine's at, and like we did last time,
I don't follow.
find out where they're mining this time, since we caved it in last time, and do it again?
Oh, I assume they meant they were mining here?
Yeah, somewhere around here. Where's the mines around here where your bosses are telling you to mine? Is that close by? Not days and days?
The parameters of your suggestion, as Hal goes to turn and have a conversation with you, the parameters of the suggestion have been met. And the goblin's kind of eyes widen for a bit, and he shakes his head, and his eyes widen even more. And he turns and he's about to bolt.
We stop him or let him go?
So he gets.
I mean, I
30
can't stop
feet.
him. Or chase him. Oh, he doesn't understand me.
I understand those words.
As you guys deliberate, he is using his full action and bonus action to just run.
Oh, goblin. Nope, I'm still faster. I was told to chase. I would have gone 110 feet that first round.
It's a similar tunnel to here. You're 110 feet down this tunnel, and you see, well, you don't see, you're too busy running after the goblin, but he is running pretty fast, but you're faster. And you just get ahead of him. What would you like to do? Actually, you know what? We're going to roll initiative between the two of you.
I'm like, I've used my action to dash, so I shall do nothing. I am a goblin bully. Oh, and he's faster than I am.
So you get in front of him. He is going to, knowing that you're faster, he's not going to disengage. He's going to run past you. So we'll put you down this tunnel. You get attack of opportunity.
Can you attempt a grapple as an attack of opportunity? I'm not going to do it. His acrobatics is going to be too high. I'm just going to punch him. This isn't going to work.
Yeah, 25 hits.
I will tell him to stop. And
I'm going to say, do you have any key points left?
if we short rested, then yes, I do have key points. I did not realize I had key points, so yes, I would definitely try to stun the boy.
I was going to say, we did take a short rest. So you should have all of them. Natural 19.
That happens.
As the sheer adrenaline coursing through this goblin's body, like, you hit him in the right spot, and you know he should be stunned, but, like, the fight or flight is too strong in him right now, and just through pure adrenaline, he just pushes through it. And you imagine, like, you could almost hear some things tearing as he forces himself to move, but he's pushing through it, but he will take that's 6 damage.
That's 6 damage. We'll run all of his 90 feet.
And he will run 90 feet from you. So he is 90 feet from you right now.
He'll have much choice. You know what? I think I'm just going to be crazy. And I'm going to burn a key point to Step of the Wind. So that I can dash as a bonus action and catch up with my full action.
So you're able to bonus action dash. What's your movement? 50 feet, right? 55, yeah. So you can easily catch up to him with your bonus action, even at his full turn to get away from you. You still, Core has booked it down this tunnel. He is 200 feet down into this tunnel now. This is originally where the cave-in was, where you guys collapsed the tunnel, and it turns here. He ran through it even before.
I mean, we're not going to be able to catch him, but we're running and dashing.
Yeah, so you guys would be This was 2 rounds, so you're still probably like 100 feet back, 120.
Yeah, because we're only running as fast as the goblin.
Hal, you got 160. Hal, you're probably like 80 feet from them.
Holy heck.
The rest are a little bit further back, but Core, you have your action still. Still your turn.
All I can do is rinse and repeat, right? So that's a 19 hit.
I mean, you could try to grapple him now.
I could, but I'm assuming his acrobatics is way
Okay.
higher than my athletics of -1. Not really a hugger.
A 19 definitely hits.
That's another key point.
It's for another 6 damage.
Really? Really? That's how you feel? Wait, that's why you get punched twice. That's why you get punched twice, because you're acting up. Stop acting up.
This goblin really does not want to be caught by you, Core.
Go to sleep. Stop it.
For 10 damage? Or that's 9 damage. 9
It's
damage,
another
right?
it's another 9 more damage. Yeah, so that's
You punch him as hard as you can. This time with your strike right in the solar plex. You hear a crunch of bone as you see blood cough up as you all catch up as Lurks with an eye.
I guess that works, but that archway we ran through, we sealed that off last time we were here several months ago.
Yeah, we blew it all up.
Belladin, Fentwick with your guys' passives, even all 3 of you guys can see that there's evidence of the rubble being cleared. You see boulders and large pieces of rock placed on the sides of the tunnel, and not randomly, like methodically.
I wanted to ask him if the bosses watch over them when they mine, but I guess we'll find out.
If we were within 60 feet when he hit him with that final blow, I could have healing worded him.
You are not. You are actually further.
Okay. Good enough.
They were he ran his full 180 feet.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Caught up.
Yeah.
But you guys are much past the where you
Yeah.
caved it in now. So
Look over to Fenthwick. Shall we just continue?
Down this tunnel?
Yeah, that's interesting, right? Because, like, we pretty much know, based on your conversation, that this just goes into the Underdark.
Without a guide,
Yeah.
you can get totally lost down in the Underdark.
Okay, I agree with you. We'll go back the other way.
You know what I could do is in the morning, before we leave, I could like manipulate stone and like block all this off, and then when we come back, if we want to come back this way, I can remove the stone.
Well, we blocked it off. I mean, that was a shit ton of rock that came down last time. So, if they got miners, they're just going to clear it out again. Damn.
But it will slow them down at least. I can do as much as I can before we leave, and then that'll at least it'll take them a while to get back through. So we know we have a clock, but at least it's better than them just returning.
But he said that it takes them a few days through the Underdark to get back home, back to the spine. That's a long ways overland.
to get to the other side takes a few days, and then you have to cross the ice to get home.
Gotcha. Well, at least we know it exits out here if we need to come this way instead of having to go all that hotty-toddy. No offense, Sir Fenthwick, but, present all the papers to the people and et cetera, so on and so forth at the Chillwind Pass.
I do feel like this is an important, like, hey, this is a way to get through the other side of the mountain.
Actually, now that I think about it, we do have that wand of pathfinding. I mean, you're from the north.
Yeah, I can get us across the tundra.
But I mean, in theory, it could possibly lead us through the Underdark to the other side.
Yeah, you just have to be familiar with the location. So
I guess it depends on which route is shorter.
Yeah, okay. Well, Belladin, is there anything that's going to blow this door off its hinges?
Like that I can do, or you just mean in general?
No, I mean, like, you were able to, I don't know what you did, but the explosion happened on the other side of the door. Is this door the same way, or?
Oh, yeah. Is the door on the northern end of that area with all of the cots, is that just the same design and shape as the doors that blew off on the south?
Yep.
Yeah, they look exactly the same. So I would imagine the same type of whatever they set up would just do the same thing to these doors.
you mean, are they the same design, or can you see the same trap on them.
No. I think we know that the trap's not there, or at least we're assuming the trap is not there. But I think what Hal is asking is like, hey, can we wedge these doors closed and be good? But from what you said, it seems like they're the same kind of doors, so they could just blow up this door the same way they did the other one.
Yeah, these doors are no longer functional. They're like, one's like crooked and tilted, one's almost falling over.
There was the second set of doors to the north of that room, though, right?
Yeah, those are open.
Yeah. Are they the same kind as the doors to the south that got destroyed?
Yeah, similar.
So they can be destroyed just as easily.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to the circular room and go look at that other set of doors across the way. Make sure it doesn't blow up too.
You guys want to check out that door?
Yes. May I look for a trap?
Give me a perception check.
Fenthwick, could you help me out? Thank you, sir. 21.
21. This door does not appear to be trapped.
Doesn't appear that there's any traps, but I will still take 15 steps back.
Is that a hole?
Oh my god, that just looks like a hole.
Yeah, I vaguely remember this hole.
It appears that this section of the temple has deteriorated, and there's a just rubble, large pile of rubble on the far side, and then a deep chasm. As Fenswick says, I remember this hole. You have a recollection of throwing orc bodies down it.
Go gather up the orcs in the temple and go gather up the bad guys. I put quotes and throw them in here. Or do we just go back to the cave in and see where they're at? I don't think there's anything else we need to see down here that I remember.
Not inclined to drag orc bodies around unless you really feel the need.
Nope. Well, I'm always inclined to drag them around, but usually the live ones. You ever hear of the term an eye for an eye?
I haven't read that book.
Yeah, let's go back and see where they are. We'll go back to the cave in, wherever it is.
And you find yourselves in the entrance of the temple complex. You guys gonna jump over the lava?
Yep. Is this the right way? I'm going the right way.
I'm sure Winford can tell us.
Yeah, it's this way. And you can see now. I see some light from the other side. You hear, as you see now, pockets of space between the rubble, as the miners have been working diligently for the past hour. There's quite a bit of stone and rubble, so it'll probably take them another 30 minutes, you estimate, Fenthwick, to get at least a big enough clearing that you guys can get through.
Al will help from his side by moving big rocks.
I wild shape into a giant badger again and dig. Sorry, I didn't think about this earlier, guys. I literally did it like 24 hours a day, 24 hours before, and then forgot about it.
Oh, that's strange. I should be more surprised that he can do that, but I feel like I've seen that before.
Wait till he turns into a flying devil rat, whatever the hell that thing was, Fenthwick. That shit will scare you.
How am I gonna explain all this?
What do you need to explain? Had a cave in, fought some goblins and some orcs.
I guess. At least no one was hurt.
Hit you pretty hard, so my apologies.
I deserve that. Ugrok promised they weren't after the villagers. They just wanted what's in these tunnels here. Promised that once they came down and broke through Chilwyn Pass, that would be treated fairly and everyone would get.
I'll give Belladin a side glance.
Belladin's a badger.
Oh,
A giant badger.
I'll tap him on the butt, and then I'll look to Fenthwick and be like, "Yeah, maybe we can head back up, grab some lunch. You could tell us all about them coming down Chilwyn Pass and all that good stuff. I mean, considering we saved your life again."
Of course. Of course. I said, like I said earlier, I'm willing to take full responsibility for my actions.
Shut up.
I'm just glad no one
You're
got
just
hurt.
gonna tell us what you know while we have a nice drink at the young lady's house, so my friend Core over here can have more conversations with.
Man, you mind if I check in on my family first?
Oh, we'll be more than happy to go check in on your family, won't we, Fenthwick? All right, let's go see how they're doing.
with Hal and a giant honey badger burrowing through. What would have been 30 minutes takes 2 or 3, especially with the burrow speed of the badger. The stones were heavy, right? But it wasn't like a full hall, like tunnel of cave in, right? It was one section. It's just the problem is like it took a lot of them to leverage and get the boulders moving and stuff. But with a giant honey badger and Hal, you guys make short work of it, and within, I would say, just 2 or 3 minutes, you have a clearing enough.
Oh my god! So I see them panic, and I instantly change back, and it's just a Belladin covered in dirt.
You burrow through, and you make this clearing, and you're grinning, right? Because you're happy. But all they see is this giant honey badger baring its teeth on them, having clawed through this like hard stone and rubble that had taken them better part of an hour to try to clear some of it. And just this fang-bared honey badger, 2 that were in like the lead, handing off rocks to the people in back, stumble back.
Oh my god! And those claws have to be at least like 2 feet long, at least. Oh my god! I never realized how terrifying this is.
Okay. One is able to catch himself. The other stumbles back and twists, catches on one of the rubble, and you see him full on, like, falling down the stairs, tumble down this pile of rock.
Oh my god! I change back. It's a bonus action, and it's just me covered in dirt.
He's gonna take some damage from that.
He's gonna die from that.
He doesn't die. Paladin, you do hear, with your passive perception, a snap of a bone, though.
It's probably Daryl.
Is he he broke another bone? That son of a no! Is he within 60 feet of me? A healing word him.
Oh, my leg! My leg?
Yeah, 11 points of healing.
I swear, I just saw my leg sticking out from...
Daryl needs to go work at a bakery.
Yeah, that's not traumatic for life.
Damn it, Steve, no more drinking on the job.
Speaking of, it's got to be at least lunchtime. I could go for some more of that ice cold, fresh goat's milk. Did we have? Or was it just tea?
I don't think they had goats. They didn't have goat's milk, unfortunately.
That's right.
Doubtless Paladin wants to become a goat.
Oh, God.
Hey, I would still be a guy, so I would not be milkable.
Daryl helps Steve get to his feet. I don't know what you're talking about. Steve, you're fine.
On that note, I look at Fenwick. I'm like, Fenwick, can you polymorph?
No, don't know that one.
Yeah, because I mean, if the gender stays across, then we could just change a willing woman into a goat.
Hal shakes his head and walks towards the exit.
The rest of the miners are just looking on, very confused at this conversation.
Yeah, it's got to be so weird.
Don't think I'll ever quite understand magic folk or city folk.
Yeah, I think getting that acquiescence on that polymorph, that's more charisma than I have.
Well, we're glad you are all okay. I mean, Mr. Winford, you kept telling us that this part of the mines were dangerous and they're cave-ins. We didn't even know that this passageway existed, but glad you're all right.
Well, thanks for coming to get us.
You see them carrying like lanterns, oil lanterns, as torches would not be practical in a work environment. Too dirty, too don't last long enough. But you see them start to look around and, oh my God, this is Mr. Winford, is this more? That's right, Daryl. This appears to be more veins of true silver.
He wasn't kidding though. It was dangerous.
Yeah, but we can. We could brace the walls here. We can. Phillips knows. Never had any official learning, but he's no slouch when it comes to making structures. And he did a good enough job with the rest of the mine. We could shore this up nice. We'd be rich. Does Sir Giles even know about this place? Yeah, he knows that it's dangerous. Why don't we talk about that more a little later? Sir Hal and Sir Fenwick's. I think they wanted to get something to eat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's about right.
Like I said, Philip aside in his engineering, almost do air quotes. This place is still dangerous. We never know when another cave-in might happen. So why don't we get back to normal operations for now and head back up? You see them all kind of take another moment and just like taking the lanterns against the wall and seeing the shine of the true silver ore. And then you see every now and then a shimmer of blue.
It should be noted that the blue lights you see are dangerous, and we had to kill many a creature in our time north of here, so each of you should be careful about wandering too far in.
Creatures? What I mean, what kind of creatures?
Well, I think we have it on good authority that these tunnels connect to the Underdark, so let your imagination run wild.
Storm chasers, you find yourselves out in the fresh, chill air on this winter day. Probably. Yeah, because you went pretty early to the manor and then came here almost right away. So I'd say it's just afternoon. Some would call it late noon.
Sit down and I'll make sure that we're kind of by ourselves in the tavern area.
Okay, so you guys are going to head back to the Ale Spring Inn? Because right now you're literally just in front of the mines right now.
Yeah, I think we're going to head back. Because I want to hear what Winfred had to say about... They said that once they go back down through the pass, everybody's going to be treated the same. And I'm like, what? What you mean? Tell me more.
Because orcs are so well known for their egalitarianism.
I'm still covered in dirt, so I'm just gonna pleadingly look at Fenthwick as we walk. And like, please help me.
Why don't you just fly around and shake it all off? Fine. I clean him off.
Y'all are staying with Roland, I assume, down there at the Ale Spring, right?
Yep.
I really need to check on the missus and Stefan. So
go on. We're right here with you, and then we'll be able to tell you what you missed over the last 4 months.
And you see him head back to his home.
Are we with him?
It's up to you guys if you want to go.
Trail behind him a little bit.
Okay, and you see him.
And before we get there, I want to whisper something to Halvar before we got there.
Yeah, sure.
Are we really gonna not tell him before he gets home?
That's kind of
It's gonna be pretty bad, regardless.
Yeah, don't
But
be surprised.
it'd be more traumatic. Like, this is Jordan talking. This is not even Belladin. It's gonna be more traumatic for his wife if he walks in and he's like, "Where's my kid?" Because that's gonna bring back everything for her too. So
Maybe we should intercept him and sit him down for a second.
So yeah, you guys are heading towards his house.
Yeah, before he gets there, I think I'll stop him.
Yeah, yes, Sir Fenthwick.
Okay, got some bad news for you. Surprised you don't remember this. We didn't want to tell you in the mine because you had, it was a dangerous situation and you had a lot on your mind. Anyway, there's no gentle way to say this, so I'm just going to rip the bandage off. Stefan is dead. He died at the festival months ago.
That's a horrible joke.
It's not. This is not a joke. I'm being deadly serious here.
Oh, what do you mean my boy's dead?
He cut himself, and the blood got on one of those stones, and it transformed him, and he kind of went on a rampage. And I'm afraid that we had to, put him down, so to speak.
Oh, no. You see him fall to his knees, and you see him hold his head. Oh, the festival. You all saved me. Oh God, I remember. They put something inside me. This is the first time he's rolled a 10 on this wisdom saving throw I've been rolling since he took out that stone. No. I told him not to touch it. I told him not to go near it. Damn boy, why didn't you just listen?
I wouldn't say it was all your fault. He did try to warn him.
Stone had no business being there in the first place. I was just so angry about how I've been treated my whole life. You see him kind of just not say anything and just kind of close his eyes and tilt his head back and look up, almost like looking up towards the sky. And a minute goes by, and 2. And finally he opens them again. Right.
I don't think there's any need to check on the missus right now. I'm sure she's fine. As fine as she has been or can be. Why don't we
You've been in a haze or a daze or both here over the last several months. Maybe, go tell her something about when you guys first moved out of here, or, something about when you guys were on your first date, so she knows you're kind of back.
strange, I remember now. It was hazy at first, just bits and pieces and clouded, but I don't know if it was the shock or I remember clearly now everything from the past few months. I was still me, but it's like I was directed by, I don't know, like it's like I wanted to serve those commands, but I was still me. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I've seen Fenwick do some weird stuff, and with his magic and the Morg shamans, they can do some of those things too, and they probably know how to do that. I don't know, orcish blood magic or something. At least you need to let us know what they said they were gonna come do, because when I was young, those crystal blades captured me and my family. Was murdered in front of me, and they made me work out in the fields or do the manual labor, whatever it was, but they're not your friends. Like, these folks around here are your friends. You should let us know what's going on, and at least the Duke can reinforce what he needs to reinforce wherever they might be coming or going, because these guys aren't going to go away unless we make them go away.
Sorry to hear about your father, Sir Hal. Those crystal blades they're bloodthirsty for sure. I was surprised when Ugrok said that our clan had joined with them, but I couldn't imagine the Silver Tusks being beaten so easily. But that's what Ugrok was saying, that the crystal blades, well, they've subjugated all the other clans. Their leaders, the war chief. Anyway, I don't know about y'all, but I could definitely use a drink.
Strong one. Let's go.
As a cold rain starts to fall, as gray rain clouds have taken over the sky and blocked out the sun, the chill rain starts to fall. Not heavy, just a light drizzle, but cold and a bit. You make your way back to the Elspring Inn, where Roland is there to greet you. I heard about some sort of cave-in at the mines. Are you all okay? Yeah, with the heroes of Nestle Rock saved me once again. So between Sir Belladin and Sir Hal here and the boys, they were able to dig us out right quick. So, but I've warned everyone to stay away from the area still. It's pretty dangerous. Right. Well, looks like y'all could use something hot and a cold drink to wash it down. And he goes and starts preparing a meal and drinks for you all. As you guys get a table, there's no one else in the inn at the moment. It's just you guys.
I want to tell Winford, all right, tell me all about it. What's going to happen with Chillwind Pass? What are these blades going to do? What is Tusk going to do? When is it going to happen? Like, you need to let us know.
And he pauses as Roland brings out the meals and drinks. And you see Roland start to ask about what happened with the mine, and Winford, if you just give us a moment, Roland, there's some sensitive matters that Sir Hal would like to talk to me with. If they're willing later, I might be able to fill you in, but for now, if you just give us a moment. Roland looks a little bit put out at this at first, but after a moment gives in. Like I was saying, when I first told Ugrok what I'd found, at first I was hoping maybe just that I'd be able to steal some of that ore and gems and take my family up north and live with the Silver Tusks. Finally get out of this town, but for this village, Ugrok was mighty interested in my discovery. That's when he told me that the crystal blades had thrown down the war challenge to each clan, and one by one the clans fell and marched under the banner of Curse, their war chief. You know the name of Curse very well. Ugrok said that a new age was coming, that the Crystal Blades had real power now. Power not only to rally all the clans, the whole North would be under Orcish rule. And after that, after they'd marched onto the spine and subjugated Dark Elves, the Goliaths, hell, Ugrok even said those damn giants, that they would then turn south, break down the walls of Chillwind Pass, and allow the peoples of the North to finally partake in the bounties of the southern lands. He promised that there, under the rule of the Crystal Blade, there would be no more of this talk of foul blood. You get the drift. I couldn't imagine even if the Crystal Blades were as strong as Ugrok says to be able to defeat all the other clans. I couldn't see how they were going to be able to take on the whole North. But he said it was with the help of the very gems that I told him about.
Did he give you any hint as to how successful they'd been, what the timeline was, any of that stuff?
The last clans finally either fallen or were made to oath of fealty under curse. They'd been up north in the Spine, waging war against the Dark Elves there. They said that once they were finished there, then they'd be marching south.
So they've defeated the Goliaths and the giants and all that stuff?
Not sure. The first Ugrok said that they would take the whole north first, and then make it sound like they were going to defeat the elves, and then come south, and then spread out. I'm not sure how much Ugrok really knew and how much he was privy to. But
how long does it take to get from the Spine to the White Dagger Mountains, Chillwind Pass?
Can you guys see that?
Yep.
I would say you guys do have the map. Let's say how you pull out the map that y'all had gotten. Y'all, even now I'm talking like that. Jeez.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The elf from Vakel, the cartographer, had given you all. The Spine is at the top there, and the base of the White Dagger Mountains. So you figure it's pretty much the entire length of Ilari to get from the base of the White Daggers to just the southern tip of the Spine. So it's maybe a week under, and that's as like the crow flies, right?
Yeah.
Having to go through the Middle Mountain Range, around the Middle Mountain Range, or even through it, along with the rough conditions of crossing the tundra itself and all its dangers. Hal, you probably know how long. Probably, if all goes well, maybe 2 weeks. If there's challenges, an army, well, yeah. In the spring and summer, there's this far north. There's not much change.
But I know they could probably pass through some of the passes through the Phrygian Mountains instead of having to go around. So, just curious. Like if I need to tell Fenthwick to say, yeah, call the Duke, we need more men.
And then marching an army would take longer, right, than just a single company. So you would guess probably 3 weeks right now, under the best conditions, to get an army from the tip of the Spine to Chillwind Pass.
So, Winford, when did he say that they finally did what they needed to do with the clans up north?
After Ugrok died, the other orcs that I was dealing with weren't quite as forthcoming with information. They hadn't yet marched north against the Drow when Ugrok was still alive. Last I heard, they were still up there fighting. I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything of them being victorious or not. Well, I had no inclination to ask for any information they did not willingly divulge under the certain state that I was in.
All right, I understand. Is the party with me having this conversation with the guy?
Yeah, you guys are all around the table having this conversation.
So I'll look over to Fenthwick and say,
I'm quietly translating for Core.
I'm not sure how, it could have been, it's been a little while since Ugrok, but they could be here within a week. We should probably tell the Duke, hey, we need more men up there. I'm not sure if we need to go back to Duneshire and then head up through Chilwyn Pass and at the same time. You've already called the Nuke, right, and told him about the druids or whatever the hell it was that we were going to tell him.
Yeah, I believe we informed him.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I was under the impression that the Duke had some knowledge. I mean, seems like they've been reinforcing Chilwyn Pass for a while.
Yeah, but it's going to take them. I mean, they could be within a week, 2 weeks out. I mean, maybe he knows. I don't know. Maybe he knows. Where do we go from here? Do we go back to Duneshire?
Well, remember, the Duke isn't in Duneshire.
Do we pick him up? Pick her up, pick them up, head back north towards Chilwyn, and wait for the pass to clear? Or do we stand there and fight, or what? What do you think we should do?
If the goal is to get into the north as quickly as possible, well, I don't know. How long do we think it is before the pass clears?
I think it's this time of year, 3-4 weeks. What they said last time.
Then the fastest route would probably be to go back into the mines and go through the Underdark, since that apparently empties out somewhere on the other side of the pass.
Yeah. All right. I got to think about this a little bit. And I was going to get up and kind of walk outside and head towards the highest small hillock in the town and kind of scan the horizon for a snowfowl of some kind, just to see if anything will ever come around.
Okay, and you actually head back towards the mine area, and you go off one of the paths there, and it's kind of one of this rocky out jutting on the mountainside there. And give me a perception check, please.
That's a 6.
Yeah, it's still the rain's a little heavier now, and the rain clouds have covered the sky, and it's just kind of you don't get a good look past the clouds and the haze and the rain out north.
Yeah, I'll come back in when I realize it's raining too hard and regroup with the party and look towards Belladin and say, "Yeah, you told me it was going to rain. I totally forgot."
Yeah, it's all right. While Hal was gone, Belladin, not used to the way governments protect themselves and fortifying passes and everything, just leans over to Thentwick as Hal leaves and says, "Wouldn't it be a good idea to tell the Duke that, isn't this a pretty big, defensive problem? The fact that they can just come through this mine underneath the mountain, and, if the Duke puts all of his soldiers at the pass and they just ignore the pass and come through this mine, that's bad, right?"
Well, yeah, but don't know how easy it would be to move an entire army through the Underdark.
Right.
Not impossible, but
maybe a force big enough to attack Chilwyn Pass from the other side?
Yeah, we should probably inform him. Well, for that matter, you can get from the Underdark into Sugad. I mean, if they really want to go that route, they can just pop up in the middle of Sugad.
Wow, I didn't know that. Whoa. And I imagine that's when Hal returns.
What do you mean you don't remember that? You were with us.
I know, I just wasn't connecting the dots.
Hal's still not returned yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like other people need to know this information. I know it's all hush-hush because of who's involved and what's going on and what's down in that mine, but I don't know. This seems bigger. I know we were always going to go north for Hal, but in the meantime, there seemed like these other things you guys wanted to do. You talked about the tower. You talked about, different things in the south that we could go take care of in the meantime, but this seems to be far more pressing.
Well, if there is an army marching, a giant orc army descending on Chilwyn Pass, it might take more than the 4 of us to stop it.
Yeah.
I mean, you are very scary as a giant mole, but
it's a badger.
That is pretty terrifying as a badger, but
yeah.
And at that moment, Hal walks back in to the Yellspring Inn, looking contemplative.
Yeah, you said it was going to rain.
Oh yeah, finally started coming down.
Yeah, it was really coming down up there. I'm not sure what we need to do. I'm torn. It's like my other friend down there in Duneshire, and My family's up north and I haven't heard anything. Well, I mean, I assume they've reached the fortress at this time, but I'm not sure. I haven't heard back.
Let me see how many charges I have on my staff. I think I can do a locate animals. Would you like me to go check the way I did last time?
It's raining pretty hard.
Oh, I don't think I don't need to see. This is more of it's magic.
Well, I mean, not for you, but for the birds flying around.
Oh, right. To find you, that would be a problem.
That's all. But hell, you can do. Yeah, that would be great. I mean, maybe he's like sitting around the corner and just wait for the rain to stop. I don't know. It'd be really surprising if they got through Trelleborg and they're on their way here by now. It would be really surprising to me.
I'm gonna expend 2 charges from the staff of the woodlands, and describe or name a specific kind of beast or plant. So I'm gonna describe a winter fowl, like he's looking for, and see if I can locate a winter bird within 5 miles of our location.
You go and cast your spell, and you feel the magic pulse out from you. You feel the rain hitting your face, and then that starts to fade as you're focused solely on this magic, this pulse emanating from you. The rest of the world falls away, and you feel this kind of probing inquiry in your mind expand further and further, and then suddenly it focuses in, and you look up. Give me a perception check.
14.
14. You see just a shadow of sunlight going through. You still can't make out what it was,